Hello there, this is Greg Smith with Top Notch Athletic and Personal Training Services. Today I've prepared a little lecture about weight training, some more advanced weight training, not really for a beginner, but something you'd find athletes performing. And I've entitled it the R3PO Strength Lecture. So basically, where we're going to start off is the first P is power. If you look at the formula for power, power is equal to force times velocity. Now let's take a little bit closer look at that. Force is if you were to define force, basically what you have is any push or pull on an object which causes it to change direction. In the weight room, there's a lot of push and pull. You have a lot of push presses, bench presses, pulls, rows when you're doing the back. And the second part of that is velocity. Velocity being a measurement of time and distance. Usually velocity is measured in meters per second. Velocity could also be miles per hour. Like say a baseball pitcher has good velocity, he can probably throw 90 plus miles an hour. So that's power. Power, remember when you hear power, you got force times velocity. And keep that in mind. Force being any push or pull on an object, velocity being a distance and time measurement. Okay, and the second P is for powerlifting. And when you say the term powerlifting, what you are pretty much referring to is three distinct exercises. You have your bench press, your squat, and your deadlift. Now that would be your flat bench press, your back squat, and your standard deadlift. The O, you have the R3PO, the O stands for Olympic lifting. Now Olympic lifting, it's a sport all on its own. And basically it's a very advanced sport. You'll see it in the Olympics. Olympic lifters do a lot of powerlifting when they train. Olympic lifting is not really for a beginner. To go out and do Olympic lifts, you need a very strong foundation. And actually, to teach them, you actually need a special certification. And the one place you will see that distinctively is usually in the Olympics. Very, very difficult lifts, but remember powerlifting is your bench, your squat, and your deadlift, but Olympic lifting is referring to the clean and jerk and the snatch. Two very, very difficult exercises. In my opinion, they're probably the most difficult in the entire genre of weightlifting. So we started out, we had power. Remember power being force times velocity. Powerlifting referring to three distinct exercises being the bench press, the squat, and the deadlift. And then we moved on to Olympic lifting being the clean and jerk and the snatch. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our third P. Remember we had the R3PO lecture. So our third P is going to be performance lifts. Performance lifts are great. I personally feel these should be at the heart of any athletic conditioning program. Athletic conditioning, not necessarily fitness. I feel they're great for generating power, and they're also great for our fifth and final term we're going to talk about here a little bit later in rate force development. But let's talk about these a little bit. We're just going to go through them real quick. We've got the clean pull, the hang clean, the push press, the snatch, the high pull, and the power clean. Check the website and the first DVD, Top Notch, if you'd like to see those explained in more detail. The R3PO. R stands for rate force development. I personally feel that this should be renamed rate force velocity. But basically here, if I could rename it, I would. I'd call it rate force velocity. There's that force and velocity again. Where have we seen that? Force and velocity we saw in power. The product of force and velocity is equal to power. So rate force development, which I personally feel should be called rate force velocity, is referring to how fast can you generate power? How fast, rate force development, how fast can you generate force? How do you train this? Answer right here, performance lifts. And this concept This concept you see quite often in sports. I'm a big baseball fan. I'll give you an example. Pitcher has really good velocity. He's bringing that ball in 90 plus miles an hour. Well, as a batter, you have less than 1 second to generate the most powerful swing you can, in addition to determining whether or not that's going to be a good pitch to hit or ball or strike. So this has got to be there. Your rate force development has got to be there, because you have less than 1 second to generate the most powerful swing you can and hit that ball as hard as you can. And that's kind of the concept behind it. I think if you went into every sport, you could find this. Even a tennis player, they have very little time to generate a powerful serve, backhand, forehand. Soccer player, kick, hockey player, slap shot. It's there. So basically, these are your theories. These are theories behind athletic conditioning. I just thought I'd share them with you to, most of your trainers will know about this. Your good trainers will have a good understanding as to what it is. There's actually a lot of theory that goes into training. I just want a chance to share that with you. There's a lot of education that good trainers have put in. They put in a lot of time. A lot of them have college degrees in the subject matter. Others have certifications, but there's a lot of studying that goes into working as a trainer. All right, so that's going to conclude this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. I enjoyed making it. Hope you enjoyed watching it. I'll catch you next time.